Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Wright and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. Thank you to Dev and Zane for their request. They've said, love this so much, OMG! Can you do Adrienne's POV? Like how he found out her identity and what he did in the years after to lead up to this moment? So this is a prequel to my one-shot 20 questions. So if you haven't watched it, I highly suggest checking it out. I will link it in the description box below. But if you don't want to, that's totally cool. I think you'll still enjoy this one anyway. Plagg will be voiced by Cameron. Now then, please enjoy one answer. Adrien Agreste, 16 years old. Adrien awoke to his stomach rumbling early on a Saturday morning. Get up, Plagg! He nudged his sleeping Kwame in the cheek with a finger.
No, sweet camembert. Come back.
Plagg reached his small arms out to grab something invisible. Adrien shook his head and laughed, moving him slightly. Plagg, it's me! Wake up! The black cat Miraculous holder waved a piece of camembert under the Kwame's nose. Plagg's mouth opened before his eyes to eat the stinky cheese. He eats even in his sleep. Incredible, Adrien thought incredulously. Come on, Plagg! I'll stop and get you some cheese. I want to stop by the bakery this morning anyway. His little flying friend's eyes popped open and he performed a flamboyant loop in the air.
Why did you say so? Let's go!
With yet another loop, he phased through Adrien's messenger bag and the pair was off to find something delicious to eat. Plagg sat happily in his holder's bag, munching on some cheese as Adrien entered the Dupang Chang bakery. His face lit up when he saw the cute girl standing behind the register waiting on several customers. As she met his eyes, her face flushed pink. Adrien approached her with a wave. Hey, Marinette, how are you? Oh, Adrien, hi, you're amazing. I'm doing amazing. She giggled nervously. What brings you in today? He scratched his head, peering at the different display cases showing off freshly baked pastries. What do you recommend, Marinette? She also glanced around. There were just too many to choose from. Then her hands clapped together as she exclaimed, Ooh, I know! I made these myself. Passion fruit macaroons. Marinette thrusted a plate at him. He deeply inhaled the delicate treat. Wow, passion fruit is my favorite. Adrien managed to say with his mouth full. I know! She blurted out, her eyes wide. He looked at his classmate curiously, taking another bite. Well, a lot of people like passion fruit. You, and, probably a lot of other people too. In fact, here, take some and give some to your dad, Natalie, and your bodyguard. She hastily filled a small paper bag with several macaroons as well as some additional pastries. He took the sack from her, a wide smile spreading across his face. Wow, thanks so much, Marinette! How much do I owe you? He pulled out his wallet from his back pocket, and before she could deny his payment, a torrent of screams came spilling from outside. Marinette shot a glance out the window, then directed her gaze back at Adrien. You know what? Don't worry about it. I really have to go find my parents now. Stay here, okay? She ran out the front door of the bakery before Adrien could even say anything, but that was probably for the best. He had a city to save. He ducked behind the counter and opened his bag to find Plagg, tummy full, and the camembert container empty.
Do we really have to go right now? I'm so full.
He let out a burp and closed his eyes, hoping to settle down for a mid-afternoon nap. And whose fault is that? There's no time for sleeping. We have to help Ladybug. Plagg, claws out! He dashed out the bakery door, trying to spot Ladybug to formulate a plan for dealing with the newest threat, but she was nowhere to be found. He hopped to Marinette's balcony to gain a bird's-eye view of the city. He spotted someone in the alley. That's not safe, he thought. They should hide! As he craned his neck over to get a closer look, he realized it was Marinette? But why? She had said she was going to find her parents, but then why was she there? And then, as if to answer his question, he heard, Tiki, spots on! Marinette, was Ladybug? But he had seen them together before, or he thought he had. This was too confusing. Adrien had been a superhero for 2 years, and through all of that time, he had been in love with Ladybug. Did that mean he was in love with Marinette? He grew dizzy at his never-ending thoughts until he felt a thunk on his head. Ow! Before him stood the lady in red herself. Ladybug holding her yo-yo, her arms crossed with a smug look on her face. What are you doing on my, Marinette's balcony? Nice save, he thought to himself. Looking for you, of course, milady. He bowed like a humble knight greeting his princess. He took her hand in his, pressing her knuckles firmly against his lips. Ladybug humored him, which was a rare occasion. She giggled, Okay, you found me, or I found you. So, are you ready to fight some Akuma butt? She struck a fighting stance, and Cat Noir's heart skipped a beat as it often did around her. With you, milady? Always. Ladybug was Marinette, and he loved them both. It just took finding out to realize that he always did. He had at least 20 questions raging in his mind, but he knew one thing. Marinette was the answer. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again to Devin Zane for this idea. I love getting requests. It inspires me and helps spark even more creativity. If you liked this, please give me a like and a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be amazing. As always, stay miraculous.